Hi, my name is Alison Underwood. I'm an artist living and working in New York City. So the show, The Impossibility of Never, takes its title from one of my 2018 paintings called The Impossibility of Never. And I heard this somewhere, it might have been on the radio or a podcast, but it really stuck with me because it had this feeling that if you keep trying and you keep doing something, it's almost like you're going to hit that collision of whatever it is that you want. So there's almost like the impossibility that if you keep rolling the dice, right, or keep playing the lottery, something is going to line up eventually. It's basically the majority of my artistic output for the last 2 years, but even some of them go back before that. Some of these pieces, at least 2 are made from 2015. I had access to a studio, printmaking. And it's sort of funny to see how things have evolved since then. Even after 5 years, there's still a thread through my work where there's I try to focus on this idea of desire and a liminal space between wanting something and having something. And desire seems to be more about not getting it. And I'm hoping that comes through in my work, sort of in the way figures aren't necessarily fully realized. If I do a portrait, it's not the whole body, it's not the face. There's a refusal, sort of a turning away, or limbs have been removed from the body. So something there, you want to see the rest of it, but you just can't. I won't give it to you. I was originally from rural Kentucky, western Kentucky. I moved to New York to do my master's because just where I was from, you couldn't really have an art career there. And I did my bachelor's there in Louisville for undergrad in studio art. But then when I moved here, I did more of a theoretical sort of writing program, which actually changed my practice a lot because I didn't have access to a studio anymore. So I started working digitally and I taught myself how to use Photoshop and InDesign. And after I transitioned back, because I really missed working with physical materials, I think that digital sensibility ended up really permeating the rest of my work, and a lot of things look almost like they were made on a computer. I do a lot of work with nature and ropes and hair, and I know that seems like it's very disparate, but it's more of the way these elements, the rendering, there's almost like a twisting and a flow in a way that your eye can get lost in the repetition of a rope the same way it can get lost in a lock of hair or the twist of a vine. And that sort of fluid motion for me is what keeps drawing me back to those kinds of symbols. So this piece is one that I sort of started putting together digitally. Sometimes I make mock-ups on my computer to just kind of get a sense of what something's going to look like. But as I was making it, it shifted and it changed. And it's about this myth about Orpheus and Eurydice, which is a pair of lovers. And he's a musician and she's sort of this nymph figure, but she's bitten by a snake and ends up in hell. He tries to rescue her, and he makes a deal with Hades, and Hades says, you can take her back if you don't turn around before you reach Earth. And he says, all right, I'm going to do that, that's fine. But at the very last moment, Orpheus turns around, and Eurydice dies a second time. So this painting is called Don't Turn Around, Eurydice, but I sort of switched it in the sense that it's a gender flop here where Eurydice isn't the one turning around, but it's almost like she's sort of looking into this portal, into this other space. Maybe that's, I don't know if she's in hell looking out, or she's, the one who's turning back looking back into the abyss. And it's sort of funny when you stand and look at it, there's like a repetition between you and the painting where like you almost become her in like an endless sort of mirrored succession. Because if someone views you looking at it, they almost see a sort of doubling. It's sort of like you're gazing into the abyss with her.
You